Welcome, Middlers, to the Medium in the Middle podcast. My name is Stephanie, and I take you on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual exploration. I am a Reiki master teacher, a spiritual and business mentor, and of course, a psychic medium. And I am here to share my story and help you tap into your extraordinary abilities. Join me every Wednesday as we dive into the realms of intuition, energy healing, and all things mystical. Whether you're a seasoned spiritual seeker or just dipping your toes into the magical waters, this podcast is your go-to source for inspiration, guidance, and a whole lot of lessons and laughter along the way. Let's get started. Hello, Middlers. Welcome to episode 209. My name is Stephanie. I am the medium in the middle, and I am congested. I'm sorry I sound so nasally. I thought I just lost my voice from laughing too hard on the weekend. I was laughing for hours, and then my nose started to run yesterday, so I think I'm a little sick, but my body is healing, and I'm going to do a short podcast for you today because maybe you find this annoying, maybe you find it cute, but I want to save my voice. So I was away in Mexico last week. I had an amazing vacation. I'm very happy I didn't get sick on vacation. It was a whole hoopla. I will share more next week when my voice is back. But I have two podcasts that I want to share from what happened. One was about me being a little crazy and doing palm readings at a bar one night. That'll be for next week because it's a longer podcast. And the other one, which I want to share today, is about listening to your intuition even when you're on vacation. Oh, I'm so upset I even have to share this story. I'm upset this even happened, but it's a lesson, and it's a lesson I'm going to share because we all need the reminder. So we are back to regular scheduled programming. I will be releasing new episodes every Wednesday. I have a few announcements for you this week. If you are a Reiki student looking to learn Reiki Level 2, my next Level 2 is coming up on April 6th and 7th. There's a few spots left in that course if you are feeling called to move on with your Reiki, become a Reiki practitioner, learn the symbols, learn Distance Reiki, learn how to clear items and rooms. That's a really fun course. My next Level 1 is April 27th and 28th. That one also has a few spots left in it. And I started hosting a monthly mediumship practice circle this year. So the next one will be in April, on April 13th from 2 to 3:15 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And this monthly circle is just a space for any developing mediums to come in and practice readings. So no experience is necessary. It can be your first time, it can be your 10th time, but I will give you a little bit of direction. You will go into a breakout room. You will give and receive a reading, 20 minutes each. Then we'll come back and I answer any questions and we kind of get to hear from each other. So it's a really nice way to develop and practice if you want something more structured. I will keep hosting those monthly as long as people are enjoying them. So the next one is April 13th. I will leave all the links you need down below in the show notes to register for a Reiki training or the Mediumship Practice Circle. So every week I pull a card on Instagram with you guys on live. You can follow me at Medium in the Middle. That's my only account and I will never DM you. Please beware of scammers. But you guys voted this week for the Kyle Gray Angel Guide book, and I pulled the card Clear, Cancel, and Release. I'll read it and then I'll give you my interpretation. You're being guided to clear your life and energy of any negative or challenging people, situations, or events. It's time to release any old ideas, negative thought patterns, or even sarcastic comments you may be using to put yourself down. Angel wisdom wants you to recognize and realize the power of your words, thoughts, and intentions. If you are saying something, even jokingly, about yourself that might have a negative effect on you, or express something you wish wasn't real, you are being encouraged to be more loving towards yourself. Angels are guiding you to clear, cancel, and release anything you no longer want or need, in order to make more room for love, positivity, and peace. Whenever you have a negative thought or say something that you wish you hadn't, you have the capacity to remove the idea or energy from your own by saying clear, cancel, and release. Angels are ready and willing to help you clear anything that could be standing between you and inner peace. Ooh, okay, I like this. And it brings to mind an example that happened actually in the March mediumship practice circle. People were giving feedback, and one person said, I don't get names, but my partner gets names, and she got a name, and it was spot on, and she was talking about the experience. And then the mentor in me just had to come out, and I said, watch your words. Do not say you don't get names. Yet. Add the word yet. It's like we're all developing mediums here. We're all developing our mediumship here. Do not start telling yourself that you don't get names in mediumship. Again, whatever you believe is true is true. So if you believe you don't get names in mediumship, you're right. Say, I don't get names yet. I'm working on getting names in mediumship. But really, really watch what you say. I like this card as a reminder. Your brain is always listening. In my Reiki trainings, I go on this little TED Talk where I rant about not saying anything you don't want your brain to hear. I repeat, don't say anything you do not want your brain to hear. Zip it. So this card is a good reminder that our throat chakras are powerful and listening. Your ears are listening. Your throat chakra is your throat and your ears. Hearing and listening. Speaking and listening. My one other announcement is that my one-on-one mentorship program will be opening again on Friday, March 22nd. I just released it to the wait list, and if there are any spots left, it'll be opening to the public on Friday. I open this program 3 times a year, and it is a 3-month one-on-one mentorship program where I will help you develop Reiki, mediumship, or business. I love helping and starting and growing businesses. So if you are looking for a mentor in the spiritual space and you think I'd be a good fit for you, keep an eye out on my website or Instagram on Friday at Medium in the Middle on Instagram, themediuminthemiddle.com on my website. The application will be live there if there's any spots left after the waitlist. Okay, so I want to share this story on the podcast because it just shows the importance of listening to your intuition for the small things and the big things. And it just also is a good lesson about how we learn to trust our intuition. And I can't believe that I didn't trust it this time. Like, I am so frustrated and annoyed that I let this happen this far in the game. And when you hear the story, you might be like, Steph, you're overreacting. But no, I'm not. I trust my intuition. I listened to it. And this is something that absolutely didn't need to happen. So I'm going to just start at all the tiny intuitive hits. And then I'll tell you the story as a full. So this all has to do with a pair of shoes. And I got these pair of sandals from Steve Madden, and they are like my favorite sandals. And they ripped, and I was so upset. So I emailed Steve Madden, and they sent me a new pair of sandals. Anyways, and these new pair of sandals started to rip the same way the old ones did. So my old ones ripped once when I was out, but I was out at a bar and I was like a block away from home, and they ripped when I was getting off of a chair. So I had to waddle home, but it was fine. So as I was packing for Mexico, I wanted to pack my favorite sandals that, in all fairness, were half ripped. And I thought to myself, I should just throw these away. They're gonna rip. And I was like, no, just pack them. They're not gonna rip. So I packed them. And then I brought them to Mexico. And every time I looked at them, I thought, oh, don't put them on. They're gonna rip. But then there was this one day where we were going for a walk around town, and I wanted to wear a comfy sandal, and I love these sandals, and I was like, I'm going to put these sandals on. And again, my intuition said, don't put them on, they're going to rip. And I was like, no, I'm going to wear them. And then I put them on, and I went to go leave, and my intuition again was like, these are going to rip. So then I went back, I changed my sandals to my Birkenstocks, and I started to walk out in my Birkenstocks, and I was like, oh, my other sandals are so much more comfier. I'm just going to wear them. So I went back and I wore them. So I'm walking along the beach, and I'm just very aware of my sandals and how they're half ripped. And I was thinking to myself, why don't I just throw these away? Like, why do I have such a hard time being like, these sandals are completely worn out, throw them away. So after an hour or so of walking around, I decide to turn around, and my friends decide to keep walking. So they go and keep walking. I turn around and I go back to the hotel. So I'm walking again along the beach, and there was this path, and then the path starts to go beside the beach. And there's a spot where there were stairs, and you could go down onto the beach. And again, I remember thinking, my sandals are going to rip. I should try to buy new sandals. And I was looking around for new sandals, but I didn't find any. And then I saw the stairs to go down onto the beach. And my intuition said, take your sandals off, go walk on the beach. How nice would it be for you to walk the rest of the way on the beach? And I literally stopped at the stairs to the beach, and I looked at the stairs, and I looked at my sandals, and I looked at the path, and I just thought to myself, like, oh, walking on sand is kind of annoying, and I still have like a far way to go. I'm just going to keep walking on the sidewalk. So I keep walking on the sidewalk. I get probably 100 meters further, and to no one's surprise, my sandal breaks. I trip on my toes. I fall over in front of everybody and every restaurant on the strip in Puerto Vallarta. And my stuff goes everywhere. My bag goes flying. My knees get scraped up. They're bleeding. My foot that my sandal broke is all scraped up and bleeding. My palms that caught my fall are all scraped off and bleeding. I have people come all around me to help me up. And I am just sitting on the ground on this sidewalk, so angry that I knew this was going to happen. My intuition tried to warn me 7 million times, and it took my sandal breaking and me tripping and falling for me to finally be like, oh yeah, I was right. Oh yeah, I knew that was going to happen. And I wasn't even embarrassed that I fell. I was so angry that I didn't listen to my intuition, because 30 seconds before this, I just got the strongest intuitive hit to take my sandals off and walk on the beach. And if that had happened, I wouldn't have fallen. So I gathered myself up, picked up my broken sandals, threw them in the garbage, and walked on the beach for the rest of the way home. And the cuts on my foot and my knees and my hands for the rest of my vacation were just a physical representation of me being an idiot and not listening. So when I was in the pool and they were burning, and I was like, listen to your intuition. When I was getting a massage and a manicure and they were burning, I was thinking, you should have listened to your intuition. When I had to put sunscreen on my knees and my foot and my hands, I was thinking, you should have listened to your intuition. But no, your sandals had to rip and you had to fall. And I haven't fallen in years. I don't even remember the last time I've fallen over or tripped or anything like that. So it was just so abrupt that I was like, why? Why? So here was your reminder. You do not have to fall over to listen to your intuition. I made a podcast episode many years ago, Don't Get Into a Car Accident, which was an extreme version of this story, so that you just listen to your intuition. But for small things like this, you have to learn to trust yourself. And I knew it. I don't even know why vacation brain Steph just didn't take off her shoes and walk on the beach. Anyways, my favorite sandals are in the garbage. My palms, foot, and knees are healing. My knees are still all scraped up from falling on the concrete. I hopefully have learned this lesson to listen to your intuition even when you're on vacation. And I wanted to share this lesson with you, to listen to your intuition all the time, even if it's just about sandals or something small. It's trying to make your life easier and faster. Who doesn't want things to be easier and faster? Ugh, the rage. had to share that with you guys. I hope you got a good laugh. I hope you're rolling your eyes. I hope you're thinking of all the little things that your intuition tells you that you maybe ignore. Next week, I will come back and tell you the story of me out in Mexico palm reading and hustling people in the streets. Oh, geez. And I'll explain why you shouldn't do readings when you're under the influence of many margaritas and tequilas. But it was a fun story. So until next Wednesday, Midlers, when I see you in your ears, I hope you have a wonderful week. I will leave all the links you need down below in the show notes if you want to register for a Reiki course, the Mediumship Practice Circle, or keeping an eye on my Instagram for when my mentorship program opens on Friday. See you next Wednesday. Bye.